Okay, so today we're going deep, really deep,
Deeper than usual.
deeper than usual, exactly, into Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
I mean, this book, let me tell you, it's got people talking, debating, you name it.
For sure. It's definitely controversial.
Yeah, controversial.
But that's part of what makes it so interesting, right?
Like, absolutely.
Like you can't just ignore it.
No.
Got to grapple with it.
You got to grapple with it.
Figure out what it means for you, for how you navigate the world.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we're going to try to do today.
That's our deep dive.
Our deep dive.
Yeah, and
Into power.
into power.
What it is, how it works, how to maybe use it, or at least understand when it's being used on you,
Exactly. And I think, from the beginning, we should say, we're not necessarily endorsing everything in this book.
Right. Absolutely.
This isn't like a how-to guide to being,
Machiavellian.
a Machiavellian, mastermind or whatever. It's more about, like you said, understanding the dynamics.
Yeah, seeing the world through this maybe slightly cynical lens, but
Yeah.
a lens that I think can be really illuminating.
Oh, absolutely.
Once you start to see these patterns, you can't unsee them.
No, you can't unsee them.
And that's, I think, where the real power comes in, right?
The awareness.
Awareness, being
Right.
able to, recognize these dynamics, whether you choose to, engage with them or not.
Exactly. And one of the things that really stood out to me, I mean, there are so many laws in this book.
48.
48 laws. But one that I keep thinking about is this idea of concealing your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And Greene actually, he says, keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions.
Right.
And at first, it seems kind of, I don't know, like almost dishonest.
Sure. Yeah, it can feel manipulative on the surface,
Yeah.
but I think there's a deeper level to it. It's not about lying or being intentionally deceptive.
No.
It's about understanding that information is power
Okay.
and that sometimes withholding information, or at least not revealing all of your cards at once,
Yeah.
can be a way to maintain a certain advantage.
Right. And it's not even necessarily about having an advantage over someone else.
Yeah.
It's more about protecting yourself.
Protecting yourself, absolutely.
Yeah, think about it in terms of a negotiation.
Oh, yeah, perfect example.
Right. If you walk in and you're just like, here's everything I want, here's how much I'm willing to pay,
Yeah.
you've lost all your leverage.
Exactly. You've given away all your power.
Exactly.
And you're much more likely to get taken advantage of.
Exactly. So there's a certain strategic element to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's about being thoughtful about what you reveal.
Mm-hmm. And when.
And when. Exactly.
And there's this concept that Greene talks about called selective honesty.
Okay, I remember that.
Which I think is really fascinating.
Yeah.
It's this idea that
You're being honest, but
you're being honest,
you're
but
choosing what to be honest about.
exactly, you're choosing your moments, right?
Right.
So you might be completely transparent about certain things to build trust,
To build trust.
to make people feel like, oh, this person's, straight with me.
Right.
But then on other things, you might be more reserved,
Yeah.
more strategic about what you reveal.
Okay, so it's almost like a misdirection.
Exactly, like a magician.
Right, like a magician.
You're focusing their attention on one hand,
Right.
while the other hand is doing the real work.
That's a really good way to put it.
It's all about perception
Perception.
and controlling the narrative.
Okay, so concealing your intentions, it's not about being shady.
No, not necessarily.
It's about being strategic
Strategic
Yeah.
and thoughtful about how you present yourself.
and how you I guess how you manage the information that you're sharing.
Exactly, and how you use that to your advantage.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And this ties into another law that I think is really relevant, especially in professional settings.
Okay.
Never outshine the master.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that one.
Greene tells this story about an artist
Right.
who's incredibly talented,
So talented.
but he makes the mistake of showing up his patron,
Yeah.
basically making the patron feel inadequate,
Insecure.
insecure. Yeah.
And it doesn't end well for the artist.
No, it does not.
Right. And it's such a good illustration of the importance of
Understanding hierarchy.
understanding the hierarchy. Yeah.
And not disrupting the power dynamic too overtly.
Right. Because even if you are more talented or even if you have, better ideas,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always in your best interest to flaunt it,
To shove it in people's faces.
to shove it in people's faces, yeah.
Especially if those people are, above you in the pecking order.
Right, because they have the power to
Make your life difficult.
yeah, to make your life difficult.
Or to, block your progress.
Absolutely.
So it's a delicate balance.
It's a dance.
It is a dance. Yeah.
You have to kind of like know your partner
Mm-hmm.
and know like how far you can push them.
And how to lead without making them feel like they're not in control.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because people in power, they like to feel like they're in control.
They do.
So if you can make them feel like they're still the ones calling the shots,
Right.
even while you're subtly influencing them,
Subtly influencing.
that's where the real mastery comes in.
Okay, so I mean that's a really
It's a delicate dance,
a delicate dance, yeah.
but it's a dance that can be very rewarding if you learn the steps.
So we've talked about concealing intentions.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about navigating hierarchies.
Right.
What are like some other laws or principles
Yeah.
from the book
Okay, let me think.
that you think are particularly relevant for people, in their everyday lives?
Oh, okay.
Like not necessarily, trying to climb the corporate ladder
Right.
or become a,
Master manipulator.
master manipulator.
Okay. Well, one that comes to mind
Yeah.
is use absence to increase respect and honor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's about understanding the power of scarcity.
Scarcity.
Yeah, like think about it. You have
Right.
a friend who's like always available,
Right.
always around.
Yeah.
Do you value their time as much as like someone who's more selective
Ooh, that's a good point.
about who they spend time with?
It's like that saying, familiarity breeds contempt.
Exactly. The more you're around,
Yeah.
the less impact you have.
The less special you seem.
Right. And so this law is about like strategically using your absence
Okay.
to create a sense of intrigue.
Yeah.
A sense of like, oh, where'd they go? What are they up to?
Yeah, like you want to make people miss you a little bit.
A little bit.
Right.
Just enough so that when you do show up, it's an event.
You're bringing the value.
You're bringing the value. Exactly.
Okay, so this isn't just about like playing hard to get.
No. It's deeper than that.
It's about like understanding the value of your own time
Exactly.
and being, I guess, selective.
Selective
Yeah.
about how you spend it.
Okay, and that can apply to like relationships,
Absolutely.
business,
Business, yeah.
even like how you manage your own schedule.
Even your own time, yeah.
Like, don't overcommit.
Don't be afraid to say no.
Say no.
Protect your energy, protect your time.
Because that's where your power comes from.
That's where your power is.
Okay, wow, this is so much to think about.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, the 48 Laws of Power,
It's a dense book,
it is a dense book.
but it's so rich with insights.
It's like, you said at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like a different lens to look at the world. And I think, one of the things that I'm realizing is that it's not necessarily about being manipulative.
Right.
It's about understanding the rules of the game,
The unspoken rules.
the unspoken rules.
Yeah, everyone's playing by whether they realize it or not.
Whether they realize it or not.
And once you understand those rules,
Yeah.
you can choose how you want to play.
You can choose how you want to play.
You can be a pawn,
Right.
or you can be a more powerful piece.
And I think that's really what it comes down to.
It's about empowerment,
Empowerment.
not just power.
That's a good distinction.
Because power without awareness
Yeah.
is dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
It can be used against you,
Absolute.
but when you're aware of the dynamics at play,
Yeah.
you can use that power for good.
Or for, at least for your own benefit.
For your own benefit, for your own protection,
If
for
you see the-
achieving your goals.
Okay, so as we kind of wrap up this deep dive
Into the 48 laws.
into the 48 Laws of Power,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a question or a thought, something to ponder.
Okay.
We've talked about a lot of these concepts.
We've just scratched the surface.
They'll scratch the surface, exactly.
There's so much more to explore
There is
in the book itself and in your own life.
your own life, exactly.
So yeah, I'm curious what thoughts you want to leave people with.
Well, I would say, as you go about your day, as you go about your week, just take a moment to be aware of the power dynamics at play
Mm-hmm.
in your relationships, in your work, in your, interactions with people.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Because it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And ask yourself, are you using those dynamics consciously?
Ooh, good question.
Or are you being used?
Are you being played?
Are you being played? And I think, the 48 Laws of Power gives us a framework.
A framework.
For understanding.
For understanding?
And ultimately for taking control.
For taking control, yeah.
Of our own lives and our own destinies.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
And that's what makes it so powerful, even if it is a little bit controversial.
Even if it's a little bit edgy.
Edgy, yeah.
I think that's what keeps people coming back to it.
It keeps people talking.
It keeps people talking.
So go forth.
Go forth and conquer.
And be aware.
Be aware.
Of the power dynamics.
That are all around you.
That are all around you. And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Deep dive.
Into something else that's going to blow your mind.
Blow your mind.
All right. Until then, take care.
Be well.
Be well.
And stay powerful.
And stay powerful.
In the best possible way.
In the best possible way.
Yes.
All right. See you later.
See you later.